What an irony. The freedom you've spent your life chasing, the unshackled, boundless dream of being whoever you dare to be, slips into your hands, and instead of triumph, you feel a chill creeping up your spine. Picture yourself standing on a cliff's edge, the wind howling, the world below sprawling in every direction with no walls, no signs, no whispered instructions. You could leap, soar, carve your name into the sky or plummet, lost to the chaos of your own making. This is freedom, raw and unfiltered, and yet your fists clench, your breath catches. Why? Why does the very thing you've longed for feel like a blade pressed against your throat? Jean-Paul Sartre, the unflinching voice of existentialism, peered into this abyss and saw the truth. Man is condemned to be free. Not blessed, not gifted, condemned. It's a sentence, a burden, a paradox that twists the soul. You tell yourself you want liberty, but when it arrives, unshackled and absolute, do you embrace it? Or do you turn away, eyes darting for the nearest shadow to hide in? What is it about freedom that makes your heart race? Not with joy, but with a dread you can't name. Is it the vastness of it? The way it stretches beyond every horizon you've ever known? Or is it something darker, something lurking beneath the surface, whispering that you might not be ready for what it demands? Do you see it yet? You're not standing in a room with locked doors anymore. Those were easy to rail against, comforting in their limits. Now the walls are gone, and the silence roars. You could walk anywhere, become anything, but every step means choosing, and every choice means leaving 1,000 other lives behind. Sartre would say, that's where the fear begins. Not in the freedom itself, but in the mirror it holds up. No one's there to script your lines, no higher power to nod approval, no excuse to lean on when the ground shakes. Just you, alone, staring into the void of your own potential. Can you bear that gaze? Or does it burn too bright, threatening to unravel everything you've built to keep yourself safe? What if freedom isn't the golden key you imagined, but a question, one that demands an answer you're not sure you can give? What if the terror isn't in the fall, but in the leap, the moment you realize every path you take is yours to forge, and every misstep yours to own? Sartre saw this trembling in us all, this quiet panic at the edge of the infinite. You're not just free to act, you're free to define who you are. And that power, that unbearable weight, presses down until you wonder, am I enough? The answer isn't here yet. It's buried deeper, coiled in the roots of your mind, waiting. Step forward. Let's find it. You felt it now, the shiver of freedom's gaze, the way it strips you bare and leaves you trembling. But why does it cut so deep? Why does the absence of chains feel more like a trap than a release? Sartre didn't just name this fear. He dug into its marrow, exposing a truth we bury beneath layers of distraction and denial. The problem isn't freedom itself, it's you. It's the mind you carry, the instincts you've inherited, the stories you've been fed since you first opened your eyes. You're afraid because freedom demands you face what you've spent a lifetime avoiding. The raw, unscripted chaos of your own existence. Sartre called this bad faith, a lie you tell yourself to dodge the truth. Picture a waiter moving through the cafe with mechanical grace, claiming he has no choice but to serve, to smile, to be what others expect. He's not just a waiter, Sartre says, he's playing one, hiding behind the role to escape the terror of deciding who he could be instead. You do this too, don't you? You cling to labels, employee, parent, victim, because they're shields, fragile but familiar. Nietzsche saw it earlier, snarling at the herd that trades freedom for comfort, afraid to stand alone. Man would rather will nothingness than not will, he wrote. And there's the sting. You'd rather let the world write your story than risk the blank page. Psychologically, this runs deeper than philosophy. Carl Jung might point to the shadow, the parts of yourself you refuse to see, the doubts and desires you lock away. Freedom forces you to meet that shadow, to wrestle with it, and most flinch at the sight. Schopenhauer, ever the pessimist, would say it's simpler. Life is suffering, and freedom amplifies it by handing you the reins to your own misery. No wonder you hesitate. Every choice is a gamble, every step a potential wound. Sartre takes it further. There's no God, no cosmic blueprint, just you and the void. Existence precedes essence, he declared. You're not born with a purpose, you have to make one. And that act of creation terrifies because it's yours alone to bear. Society doesn't help. Aldous Huxley warned of a world that numbs you into submission. A brave new world where freedom is traded for sedation. You're conditioned to crave structure, schools, jobs, laws, because chaos feels like death. Viktor Frankl, who clawed meaning from the ashes of Auschwitz, knew this too. Freedom without meaning is a hollow shell, and you're scared to find out if you can fill it. Your brain itself conspires against you, wired for patterns, recoiling from the unknown. Sartre saw this conspiracy and named it cowardice, not malice, but a quiet, desperate retreat from the infinite. And yet, the roots twist deeper still. It's not just fear of failure, it's fear of success, of becoming something so wholly your own that no one else can claim it. What if you rise, only to find the ground beneath you shifts? What if you choose, only to realize every choice carves a scar? Sartre's genius was seeing this as universal. You're not alone in your trembling, but you are alone in your answer. The tension builds here, a coiled spring in your chest, because if this fear shapes you, what has it already done? What shadows has it cast across your life? Unseen but relentless. The consequences are closer than you think. Let's turn the page. You've been running from it. Freedom's piercing stare, and you didn't even know how far the ripple spread. Sartre's insight wasn't just a theory, it's a lens. And through it, you can see the silent wreckage this fear has wrought. It's not loud, not dramatic, no crashing waves or burning skies, but a slow, creeping rot that seeps into your days, your choices, your very sense of self. You think you're standing still, safe in the cage you've built, but the truth is colder. By fleeing freedom, you've handed over your life to forces you can't even name, and they've been shaping you all along. Look at your routines. That job you hate but won't leave. That relationship you endure but won't mend. Why do you stay? Sartre would call it bad faith, but it's more than a lie. It's a surrender. Cognitive science backs this up. Your brain loves the familiar, even when it's poison. The sunk cost fallacy whispers that you've invested too much to walk away, while confirmation bias blinds you to the doors swinging open just beyond your reach. You're not just afraid of freedom, you're addicted to its absence, a prisoner who kisses the bars because they're all you know. And the cost? A life half-lived, a shadow of what you could have been. Zoom out. And it's not just personal, it's cultural. Societies thrive on this fear. Huxley's dystopia wasn't fiction, it was prophecy. You're fed narratives of obedience, work hard, follow rules, fit in, because free souls are dangerous, unpredictable. Sartre saw this too. The faceless crowd, dictate your limits, and you nod along, terrified of standing apart. Studies on conformity, like Ash's line experiments, prove it. You'll doubt your own eyes before you defy the group. Your identity erodes, not in a blaze, but in 1,000 quiet compromises, until you're a stranger to yourself. How many dreams have you buried to avoid the raised eyebrows, the whispered judgments? The brain's role is crueler still. Neuroscience tells us fear of the unknown lights up your amygdala, flooding you with cortisol, urging you to retreat. Freedom's uncertainty isn't just daunting, it's a biological threat. So you cling to scripts, to roles, to the dopamine hit of predictability, even as it hollows you out. Sartre's nothingness isn't abstract here. It's the void you feel when you realize how much you've let slip away. Relationships stagnate, passions wither, and the world narrows, all because you couldn't bear the weight of choosing. You're not just avoiding pain, you're avoiding life. And the deepest cut? It's invisible. You don't see the person you might have become, the one who leapt, who dared, who carved meaning from chaos. Sartre's freedom promises no safety, but it offers authenticity, a chance to be wholly you. Instead, you've settled for echoes, for a reflection distorted by fear. The urgency gnaws now. How much longer can you live this way, tethered to a ghost of your own making? The consequences aren't coming, they're here, etched into the lines of your face, the heaviness of your steps. You're trapped, not by walls, but by the refusal to break them down. But what if there's a way out? What if the chains aren't iron, but smoke reel only as long as you believe in them? The rebellion is stirring. Let's ignite it. You're staring at the wreckage, now the life you've let fear sculpt, the quiet surrender you've mistaken for peace. Sartre's voice cuts through the haze. You're free, always have been, but you've chained yourself with invisible threads. The rebellion begins here not with fists or fire, but with a single radical shift. You stop running. You turn and face the abyss, not as a victim, but as a creator. Freedom isn't your enemy. It's your forge. And the hammer's in your hands. But how do you wield it? How do you shatter the illusions and build something real? First, you burn the script. Sartre's bad faith thrives on excuses. I can't, I must, I have no choice. And you've whispered them too long. Strip them away. Ask yourself, what am I pretending not to see? That job you loathe? You're not trapped. You're choosing inertia over risk. That dream you shelved? It's not dead. You're just scared to chase it. This isn't about reckless leaps. It's about owning the truth. Every moment you stay is a decision, not a sentence. History proves it works. Think of Rosa Parks, refusing her seat, not a grand plan, but a quiet, defiant choice. She didn't wait for permission. She took her freedom. You can too. Next, embrace the dread. Sartre knew the nausea of freedom's vastness, that vertigo when the ground vanishes. Don't fight it. Lean in. Psychologists call this exposure. Face the fear, and it loses its grip. Start small. Say no when you'd normally nod. Walk a path you've never taken. Feel the sweat, the racing pulse, and keep going. Nietzsche's amor fati, love of fate, fits here. Don't just accept the unknown. Crave it. The Stoics, like Marcus Aurelius, mastered this, ruling empires while wrestling inner chaos. You're not weaker. You've just forgotten your strength. Then, redefine meaning. Sartre's genius was rejecting handed-down purpose, God's plan, society's rules, and insisting you craft your own. Viktor Frankl echoed this from a concentration camp, meaning, isn't found, it's made. Stop asking what you're supposed to do and decide what matters to you. Write it down, brutal, unfiltered. Maybe it's art, love, truth. Maybe it's tearing down what's broken and building anew. The act itself is the rebellion. You're no longer a pawn, but a player. Look at Camus, Sartre's rival turned ally, who defied despair with absurd defiance. You don't need certainty, just will. Finally, act. Freedom isn't thought, it's motion. Sartre's existentialism demands you leap, even if you stumble. Neuroscience backs this. Action rewires your brain, breaking old loops. Take one step. Quit the soul-crushing job. Speak the unspoken. Chase the wild idea, and the momentum builds. Failure? It's yours, not fate's, and that's power. History's rebels, Galileo, Frida Kahlo didn't wait for safety. They moved, and the world bent. You're not here to fit. You're here to forge. This shift feels counterintuitive, because it is. You've been taught to seek comfort, not chaos. But comfort is a lie, a velvet cage. And chaos is where you grow. Sartre's freedom isn't easy. It's raw, jagged, alive. You'll tremble, doubt, falter, but you'll feel it. The pulse of being, unscripted, and yours. The chains dissolve not because they're gone, but because you stop believing in them. You're not just breaking free, you're becoming. And that power, that fire, carries you toward a truth, so piercing it redefines everything. Step into it. The final revelation waits. You've clawed your way here, through the fear, the wreckage, the rebellion. And now, you stand at the precipice, hands trembling, heart ablaze. Sartre has been your guide, his words a lantern in the dark, but this final step is yours alone. The ultimate truth isn't a gift. It's a reckoning, a revelation so sharp it slices through every lie you've ever told yourself. You're not just free. You're the architect of reality itself. And the fear? It was never about freedom. It was about what freedom unveils. You are enough, and always have been. Sartre's existence precedes essence, hits hardest now. There's no blueprint etched in the stars, no cosmic judge to nod approval. You've waited for permission, for certainty, for someone to say, this is who you are. But the silence screams back. There's no one coming. You define you. That terror you felt, the vertigo of the void, wasn't weakness. It was the birth pang of power. Every time you shrank, every time you hid, you weren't fleeing freedom, you were fleeing yourself. And the moment you stop, the paradigm shifts. The world doesn't shape you, you shape it. This isn't abstract. Look back. Every scar, every choice, every quiet victory. They weren't random. They were you, forging meaning from chaos. Sartre saw this as anguish, but it's more. It's liberation. You're not condemned to be free. You're unleashed. The waiter playing his role, the crowd chanting they. Those are shadows, echoes of a self you've outgrown. Jung's shadow isn't your enemy anymore. It's your ally, whispering truths you once feared. Nietzsche's abyss gazes back, not to judge, but to bow. You're not just alive, you're the author of existence. The realization deepens. Your struggles were never the point. They were the forge. Sartre's nothingness isn't empty, it's infinite. A canvas stretched across eternity. And you hold the brush. That job you hated taught you resilience. That love you lost carved space for something truer. Every stumble was a stroke. Every doubt a color, painting a self no one else could dream. Frankl found this in hell's depths. Meaning isn't out there, it's in you, burning, waiting. You don't need to be fearless, just brave enough to see it. And here's the cinematic twist. The fear doesn't vanish, it transforms. It's not a chain anymore, it's a compass, pointing where you've yet to grow. Sartre's freedom isn't a finish line, it's a horizon, always receding, daring you to chase it. You'll falter, everyone does, but now you know. The fall isn't failure, it's flight. You're not escaping life's weight, you're lifting it, shaping it, making it yours. The past clicks into focus. Every moment you thought you were lost, you were building this. Unshakable, radiant, you. So stand here, at the edge of all you've known, and look out. The world sprawls wild and unscripted, a symphony of chaos waiting for your voice. You're not small, you're vast, a universe in motion. Sartre's truth isn't a burden, it's a call. Stop hiding, start being. Take the brush, the hammer, the flame, and create. Not tomorrow, now. The fear lingers, a faint echo, but it's drowned by the roar of your own becoming. What will you make? Who will you be? The answer's in your hands. And it's haunting, exhilarating, alive. Step forward. The void isn't empty. It's you, waiting to begin.